All right, seventh grade. Welcome to Unit 8. Unit 8 has a lot to do with statistics and data, different way to look at it, different way to arrange it and show it on graphs and different kind of plots. We're going to start this lesson by going over some words hopefully you've seen before: mean, median, mode, and range. When you see the word mean, I think most of you think of the word average, which technically is correct. I'm not gonna go too crazy into it, which is fine. And to find the average of a list of numbers, you have to add them all up. Add them all up. That's called the sum. Get rid of this. And then divide by how many there are. And we usually use the letter n to represent like the number of things in a list. So that's what the mean is. We're going to practice that in a second. Then there is median. Median is a word you might see in real life, actually, if you're driving on a big highway in the middle where like the grass is and there's like that cement wall. That's called the median. It's in the middle. So the median is the middle number of an ordered list. The key there is you have to order the numbers first. You cannot find a median unless you order them. Mode is the number that occurs the most often. There could be more than one mode. So if there's two numbers that both occur 5 times, they can both be the mode. There could also be no mode. If every number just appears once, then there is no mode. And the range is how many numbers are in between the minimum and the maximum. Remember that the minimum is the smallest number and the maximum is the largest number. And to find what the range is, you just do the maximum minus the minimum. So I'm going to give you a list of numbers now. And when I do, I want you to find the mean, median, mode, and it's not here, but let's also do the range. So pause the video now so that you can find the mean, median, mode, and range of these 6 numbers, and then I'll put the answers up. Okay, so the mean, remember that to find the mean, you need to do the sum over n, which is how many there are. So to find the sum, we add up all the numbers. So you can like write that here if you want, or you can just do it in your calculator, or do it off to the side. 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 5 plus 8 plus 3, 31. And then there are 6 numbers, so that goes in the bottom. And 31 divided by 6 is 5 and 1/6, or 5.16 repeating, which is better to just leave it as a fraction. So that's the mean. The median is the middle number of an ordered list. Well, the list is not in order right now, so you can't find the median. You have to put it in order. 3, 4, and I like to cross them off as I'm going, so I know I didn't miss any. And if I did miss any, I'm going to have to restart. When you're done, you should count them to make sure that you got all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So to go to the median, you have to find the middle number. There's different ways of doing this. I think you might have learned last year you can like cross off 1 from each side and keep doing that until you get to the middle. That's one way of doing it. Another way is to just put both fingers, like 1 on the 3, 1 on the 8, and then move your way to the middle. Either way, in this one, you're going to see that there's 2 middle numbers. When there's 2 middle numbers, you have to find the average of those numbers. You need to add them and divide by 2. But since they're both 5, the median is 5. The mode is the number that occurs the most. We can see that the number 5 happens twice, and it's the only number that does that. And the range you find by doing the maximum minus the minimum. So 8 minus 3. Well, coincidentally, it's also 5. So here's another way of showing data. You guys learned this last year. This is called a dot plot. Instead of listing out the numbers like we just did on the previous page, they just use dots to represent all the numbers. The thing that students make a mistake is they'll notice that there are dots on the 1, the 2, the 4, the 6, and the 8, but they won't take into account that there's 3 dots on the 1 dot on the 2. So whenever I get to a dot plot, before I start doing any of these questions, because I can see they're asking for the mean, the median, the mode, and the range, I like to write down all the numbers first. So for example, if I look at number 1, there's 3 dots there. So I'll write 1, 1, 1, because there's 3 of them. For number 2, there's only 1. There's none for 3, so I don't need to write that. There's 2 4s. There are 3 6s. And there's 1 8. So there you go. There's the list. And it's already in order for you, so that'll be easy when we get to the median. So for the mean equals sum over n. You add them all up and you divide. So 1 plus 1 plus 1. Looks like it comes out to 39. Hopefully I did that math right really quickly. And then how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 39 divided by 10 is 3.9, or 3 9/10. The median would be the middle number. Since there are 10 numbers, that's an even amount. I know there's going to be 2 middle numbers. So I count to the middle, and I notice that the 2 4s are in the middle. I know they're in the middle because there's 4 numbers on this side, 4 numbers on that side. So the median would be right here in the middle. Since they're both 4, the median is 4. The mode, well, there's going to be 2 modes because 1 and 6 both occur 3 times. And the range is the maximum minus the minimum. 8 minus 1 equals 7. During track practice, Frederick returns in times of 13, 12, 13, 11, and 14 seconds in the 100-meter dash. 3 weeks later, he turns in times of 12, 11, 12, 11, and 11 seconds. Compare the 2 sets of times. What is the difference of the mean between the 2 sets of times? All right, I would pause the video, reread it to yourself, and try it. And then when you unpause it, I'm going to go over it kind of quickly. Not too quickly, but quickly enough. All right, so it wants to know the difference of the means between the 2 sets. That means we need to find the mean of each set. So there's, we'll say the, I don't know, we could say the first set and the second set. So the first one, when you do the mean, when you add up the times, 13 plus 12 plus 13 plus 11 plus 14, that's 63. And there are 5 numbers there. So 63 divided by 5 is 12.6. So Frederick had a mean of 12.6 seconds. So that's pretty good. The second one, we're looking for the mean. We do 12 plus 11 plus 12 plus 11 plus 11. Do we think it's going to be lower or more? Looks lower. 57. Again, it was 5 numbers. 57 divided by 5 is 11.4. So now it says to state my conclusion. So I would say that after the 3 weeks, or 3 weeks later, whatever you want to write, Fred's mean time was faster than before. So my conclusion could be that in those 3 weeks, Frederick trained and got faster. You could be more specific. You could say how much faster he got. Oh, it does say that. Sorry, I'm missing a step here. It specifically says what's the difference between the means. So I need to do 12.6 minus 11.4 to get 1.2. So I can say that in the Fred's mean time was faster, but let's be specific. was 1.2 seconds faster than before. Okay, now I've answered the question. But see, even I do it when I go too fast. Always go back, make sure you've answered the question. Here's another dot plot. This is an old state exam question, so this is the kind of question that you would see on a 7th grade state exam if it was happening. The students in a class collected data on the number of minutes per day some kids spend brushing their teeth. Their data is shown in the dot plot below. Which statement correctly describes these data? I see that all the choices have to do with the mean and the median. So those are the two things we're going to have to find. We can't find it just by looking at this dot plot. We're going to have to write down the numbers as a list first. If you want to go ahead of me, pause the video, go ahead, get the answer, then watch it. But otherwise, just follow along. So 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 1.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 3.5, and 4. So let's make sure I wrote them all down. I'm going to count the dots in the dot plot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm going to count the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got them all. Since it's an odd number, I know there is going to be a middle number this time. So the median is going to be really easy to find. And since it's 9, I know the middle number is the 5th number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the middle number. So the median equals 1.5. To find the mean, I need to add up those 9 numbers and then divide by 9. So I'm just going to do that in my calculator. And you get 18, and 18 divided by 9 is 2. So the mean is 2. So now I look at the choices. The median is 0.5. That's wrong. The median is 0.5. That's wrong. The median is 1.5. So these two look good. And the mean is less. No, that's wrong. The mean is greater. So it's choice D. All right, on the next page, once I switch it, there's a couple of good questions there. I'm going to pause the video and just throw up the answers. And maybe I'll spend a few seconds talking about the answers of each, but you should pause it, do it yourself, and then just self-assess your work. So here are those questions. Pause the video, and in a couple seconds, the answers will pop up. Okay, here's the answer for that first one. Notice for that each class, I first had to rearrange the list because we were looking for the median, the middle number. When you look for the middle number, the list has to be in order. And even as I was writing down the list, I noticed that all the numbers in the first list seemed to be smaller than the numbers in the second list. And when I found the median was 77.5 because there was 2 middle numbers, the 75 and the 80. So you had to find the average of those two. And the median of the second list was 90. Here's my conclusion. The words from my sentence come straight out of the question. That's a good habit to be into from ELA. Based on the medians, the quiz scores of all the students in Class B were higher than Class A. And obviously that's not like exactly true word for word because there's a student in B who got a 75, there's a student in A who got a 90, but overall the students in Class B scored higher because the median was higher than the median of Class A. Okay, here's the answer for the next one. As you see, for both of the dot plots, I had to arrange the numbers from smallest to greatest. Well, that was already smallest to greatest. I just had to write them out to make it easier. Found the median, the mean, and the range for each of them because those were the only words I saw in the choices. And I could see that the median, mean, and range before the sign was installed were all higher than after, so it decreased after. So choice A. Here's just a quick thing about finding the mean. So the dot plot here shows 9 values. You can count them, there are 9 of them. So you add them up, you get 18, divided by 9, you get 2. Now there's something called mean absolute deviation. That's what we're going to be learning next and doing for the rest of the lesson. Once you find what the mean is, so you can see in this top part we found that the mean was 2. Once you find what the mean is, you need to find how far each number is from the mean. So you can see on the dot plot, they drew a line where the mean was, and then they started writing how far each of these dots is from the mean. So this one, which is at 0, is 2 spaces from the mean, so they wrote down a 2. This one, which is at 1, each one of these dots is 1 space from the mean, so they wrote 1, 1, 1. And they did the same thing over here and the same thing here. The ones that are right on the mean are just 0. So once you get those numbers, you add them all up and divide by 9, the same number of dots that there are. And the mean absolute deviation is 1.1 repeating. The mean absolute deviation describes the average distance between each data value and the mean. On the next page, there's going to be a practice problem we're going to do. So if you're confused now, it's okay. And it has the 3 steps that you need to follow. So here's a list of numbers. These are Cindy's test scores. There's 5 test scores here. The first thing we need to do, and this is for when they ask for the mean absolute deviation. The first thing we need to do is find the mean. So the mean, I'm just going to put the answer up because you should know how to find the mean now. You just add up the 5 numbers. And you get 430, and you divide that by 5, and you get 86. So now I need to find the distance, the difference between the mean and each number. So I'm going to write down those numbers again. And now right underneath them, I'm going to write the distance that each number is from the mean. And remember that the mean is 86. So this is the number that we're thinking. So 87 is 1 away from 86. 79 is 7 away from 86. We do that by using subtraction. 82 is 4 away from 86. 89 is 3 away. 93 is 7 away. So now we need to find the average of these 5 numbers. So to find the average of them, you need to add them all up and then divide it by 5. So 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15. 15 plus 7 is 22. And then divide that number by 5. And it comes out to 4.1. So the mean absolute deviation is 4.4 because 22 divided by 5 equals 4.4. So again, the 3 steps: find the mean, then find the difference between each number and the mean, then find the average of those. So here's another one. I'm going to do this one again slowly, and then after this, I'm going to let you guys practice a little more. So the first step is to find the mean. So you add up all those numbers. I'm going to do it in my calculator. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 3 plus 7 plus 4 plus 2 plus 8 plus 2. You get 46. And you divide that by how many there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 4.6. Yeah, so this one's not as clean as the last one, but that's okay. So now, underneath each one of these numbers, I'm going to write down the distance that each one is from the mean. So for example, 4.6 minus 2 is 2.6. Let me make that a little smaller, see if it makes more sense. Yeah. So 2.6. 4 is 0.6. 6 is 1.4 from it. 8 is 3.4 from it. 3 is 1.6 from it. Maybe I should be using commas. Hold on. That'll make it easier. And there we go. 7 is 2.4 from it. 4 is 0.6 from it. 2 is 2.6 from it. 8 is 3.4 from it. And 2 is 2.6 from it again. So now I take these numbers. I'm going to space them out more. It looks terrible. Now I'm going to take these numbers, these new ones that I just wrote down, I'm going to find the mean of those, and that will be the mean absolute deviation. So 2.6 plus 0.6 plus 1.4 plus 3.4 plus 1.6 plus 2.4 plus 0.6 plus 2.6 plus 3.4 plus 2.6. And divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I knew that because we did it earlier. And it's 2.12. So those are the 3 steps. Step 1, find the mean. Step 2, find how far each number is from the mean. And step 3, find the average of those numbers. All right, so I skipped the last question. Do this one and pause it. When you unpause it, the answers will be up. All right, so as you're checking your work, a few things you should make sure of. Make sure you got the mean. The mean was 19. I'll just leave it here. Then I made this list. This list is how far each one of these numbers is from 19. And then I found the average of those numbers, and it came out to 2.75. All right, so here's the exit slip. Try this one. Do those 3 steps. When you unpause the video, the answer will be on the screen. Let me just give myself more room. There you go.